Today, since the holidays are coming up, we will talk about lemons and blackberries. What does that have to do with the holidays? I want to tell you a couple of stories from my life that involve lemons and blackberries and what I learned about abundance. At this time of year, when we all make our list of things we want and our list of things to give, maybe it's the perfect time to really understand abundance. This is going to be fun and sweet because, blackberries, yum.
Would it be okay if I were to tell you that I am afraid someday? So I call you up and you call me down. Would it be okay?
Well, hello and welcome to the FreedHearts podcast. My name is Robert Cottrell and I'm here as always with
Susan Cottrell.
Hi there.
Hi.
How are you?
Great. How are you?
Good. I'm good. Are you hungry?
No.
We're going to be talking about lemon trees and blackberries.
Okay, I will be hungry.
Okay, cool. Welcome, everybody. So glad you're with us today. Again, connect with us at freedhearts.org. Everything we have, everything we offer is free.
Ooh.
It's a great free gift to give somebody for the holidays. I got you this really incredible 21-day comprehensive video course with 4 added workshops and a downloadable copy of a book. It must have been expensive. Here you go. Well, it's free.
There you go.
There you go. Check it out, freedhearts.org. And by the way, if you want to reach out to us, if you have any suggestions or comments, questions, anything like that about the podcast or what we do, email us at podcast@freedhearts.org. Why don't you recover this and get us on the right track?
Okay. So do you remember when we lived in Phoenix and there was a lemon tree in the backyard?
Yeah.
It gave us all the lemons we could possibly want.
Which is probably more than 3 or 2 would be more than I. All right.
You can make real lemonade, lemon pie, put lemons in your water, lemons for every use, lemon bars, year round. So many lemons. You would put them in bags and give them to your neighbors.
Wow.
Then we moved to a different house that didn't have a lemon tree, but the neighbor behind us did. And so she just put bags of lemons on the little brick wall between us. So we always had fresh lemons. It was extraordinary. It changed my relationship to lemons, which sounds funny, but it's true. It changed my relationship to scarcity. We grew up, I'm sure I've said this, my siblings and I grew up scarcity-minded, not poor, but scarcity-minded, where everything felt so limited. And here was something I liked, these lemons, and I had as many as I wanted.
Wow. Then we moved out of Phoenix and we realized that lemons were like 50 cents or $1 a piece, at the grocery store. So,
and there went the abundance.
Yeah.
I stopped using them so freely, so abundantly, because they were no longer abundant. And here in Washington, we have blackberries. They grow on bushes. Yeah, the baby.
I
the
say,
grandbaby
because our grandchild, they love to pick blackberries.
Yeah, and plug them in the mouth. They go almost as fast as we pick them. And they grow on bushes. There are blackberries all along the back of the park near us.
Yeah, and we have some in the backyard
we
here.
do.
And they grow along highways, and anyone's allowed to just stop and pick as many as you can find.
Yeah, absolutely. Ash was telling me about a meme that said someone was in the store in Washington buying blackberries. They had stains on their sleeves from the blackberry bushes they passed on the way to the store to buy blackberries with real money, which I think is funny.
And again, our grandbaby, they just love to eat them, and their fingers get all bluey black, and their mouth gets all bluey black, and I like them. And then you've been using them to make. Wait a minute. I'll get it. What? I don't remember. What's it called?
It's a galette.
A galette.
Yes. Oh my gosh. It's kind of like cobbler, but it's not cobbler. It is so good. You just roll out your ready-made pie dough, put in your 2 cups of fruit, berries, whatever, with a tablespoon of brown sugar and a half a tablespoon of pumpkin pie mix, which I never knew what to do with. Pile it in the center, fold the edges over. You can put a little butter on the edges of the crust and bake it. Oh my goodness. I'm in a deep tunnel right now, galette eating. It's so good. Okay. I'm going to eat them until I'm done eating them.
And you made some with peaches too. And by the way, I think I have an idea here. We need FreedHearts recipes, a section of the website with Anyway,
maybe.
But you use peaches.
That's the only one I can think of.
That's we have two.
Right.
We have you have some great recipes, wonderful recipes. But they're wonderful. You made those and they're great.
They're so good. And you can use any fruit. We went to the farmer's market and got those beautiful peaches, and they also had day-old blueberries that were like a whole tray for $10. So good. We ate some and we froze some for future galettes.
How come?
That's how committed I am to galettes.
How come day-old blueberries at the farmer's market, day-old at the farmer's market are on discount, but I will eat them a week old from the fridge with no thinking that somehow they should be discounted.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, whatever. We're talking, this is abundance we're talking about here.
Yeah.
And it's delicious.
And we're talking about this for a reason because, it's so many of us in the world and in our community here have been commodified.
Yes.
In this scarcity, that's the best way to put it, the scarcity mindset around God.
Yes.
That God's love and approval are scarce, not abundant. It's very common. It's actually a thread of the message in our churches and in our families that to see God as disapproving because it keeps us there and it keeps us turning to them for answers.
Right.
And it's not even just approval, but celebration that we're missing out on.
Yes. That's right. Abundance is about celebration of who we are. And I'm glad you said that because approval is still scarcity minded. Like, okay, you can have the relationship you want. I approve. It goes against my better judgment, but okay, if that's what you want.
It's more like tolerate.
It's barely tolerate, yes. But that's not God at all. God celebrates those relationships. And you, in those relationships, completely, 100%.
Yes. And I want to say this because we're working on something that we'll announce soon. But one of the things that we have said in this thing is that about transgender people. Yeah. That they are not the exception. They are the evolution.
Wow.
And that's the difference between toleration or even approval, I guess, with some asterisks, and celebration, realizing the depth of that. And God, beloved, whoever's listening to this, God celebrates you completely. Yes. I mean, I think about our kids when they first came out. That took us by surprise. And we didn't really see that coming. Right. But now we have now we have two transgender children, a transgender daughter-in-law, and we celebrate that. It's not just, and we've come and we understand it more and more every day, and we learn new things and we're open to that, but we celebrate that and we see and by doing that, for me, I see the beauty in them much more than I would have before. Yes. Yes. And we wouldn't change it if we could. Absolutely. It led to our freedom. Yeah. And that, it always makes me think of this verse. It may be my favorite verse of the Bible. I talk about it a lot because it's packed with celebration. And it's 1 John 4:18 that talks about God's whole rich, full, lavish love, ripe, abundant, lush love. That word for all of that is telia, and is usually translated as perfect, God's perfect love. But that is flat and misleading. We hear perfect and we think it's about not making any mistakes. That's not what the verse is talking about. It's full and rich and whole. That's what they mean by perfect. Like, this peach is so ripe and delicious. It's perfect. Like the ones we use for the galette. We don't mean it doesn't have a bruise or a divot anywhere. We mean that it's just ripe and delicious exactly as it is. Yeah. And it is perfect for those galettes. That's right. Or peach pie. That's what I'm saying. Or cobbler. Or cookies. Or cut into your yogurt. Or cut onto your cereal. Okay, we're going to take a pause right now. We're going to get something to eat. I mean, this is what I'm saying. And even the ones that are bruised are still perfect. You can still use them to make your galette. Absolutely. Or a smoothie. Yeah. Or just by themselves. Yeah. Cut up and they're still perfect. Perfect is the bad word here because it implies without error.
And that's what we're trying to communicate. God's love is whole, complete, rich, lavish, and it is everywhere for everyone because God is love. God is love. So God doesn't withhold love from you or anyone else because that would change the character of God, right? And just above that verse, in 1 John 4:18 is 1 John 3:1. It says, how great is the love that God lavishes on us, that we should be called God's children. And that's what we are, it says. The reason the world doesn't know us, doesn't understand what we're saying about this, is that it doesn't know God. It's that rich, abundant, lavish love that it doesn't know. But wait, we haven't even gotten to the juicy part of our ripe, luscious peach. In 1 John 3, so that's talking about this great love God lavishes on us, on all of us, because God is love. That's God's nature. And then just down there in 1 John 4.
I didn't realize how close those were together. Yeah.
No, right. These two magnificent verses. But 1 John 4:18 describes this kind of rich, lavish love that God has for all of us, that God is. And then it says piece de resistance here, if you're afraid of punishment, it's because you don't understand this rich, abundant love. That's all. You just don't understand it. It doesn't say if you're afraid of punishment, well, then you're a jerk and you need to get your act together. Or, well, I'm glad you're afraid of punishment because you could be punished. You better get your act together. It's not saying any of that. It says you just don't understand the fullness of God's love. You're just afraid. That's all. If you're for fear of punishment, you're just afraid. That's all, because you don't understand how loved you are.
I remember, it kind of breaks my heart a little bit, but I remember, and we use the example of children, often our children a lot because it makes the point, but when our kids, even maybe teenagers or young kids, young children, when they were acting out, my response was not always the best. I'd raise my voice, or we would, you know what I mean, that kind of thing. And it made them, it made them question my love for them. I'm sure it did.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
It made them afraid of punishment.
It made them afraid of punishment. And that just, how much that fear, and again, it's not God that, quote, is raising his voice, her voice at you.
Right.
It's the religious leaders. It's the
doctrine that's been soaked
doctrine
into you
from your family, parents, religious leaders, whatever, soaked into you saying that.
Right.
And how much that hurts the heart of God to realize, you don't, if you only knew how much I loved you, so yeah.
And we as parents, if you're a parent too, that we as parents are subject to this because of our imperfect love, our not understanding how fully loved we are.
Yep.
So our kids yank our chains, but it's not because of our kids. It's because if it were Jesus interacting with them, it'd be a different interaction.
Yeah, one of the big things that we have learned as grandparents, as our wise old grandparents now, is with our grandchildren, is that, we don't take the yanking of our chains as really having anything to do with us. We kind of know what's going on a little bit, and so it doesn't.
Yeah, when they have a meltdown,
doesn't trigger us.
Right.
We just help them work through it, let them work through it. But because I would hate to pass on the same kind of things, and we've learned, we've grown, and I think it all comes, as you said, it all comes from us realizing more and more how abundantly loved and accepted we are.
Yeah, we were reading something, I think you found it, that when your 3-year-old is having a meltdown, they are losing control of their autonomic nervous system. They literally cannot control their meltdown at 3 years old. And the parent or grandparent needs to be able to hold the ground and hold the space for them. If the parent gets triggered and loses it 2. Well, then you've got 2 people who can't control their autonomic nervous system. And you have nobody being the love that child and parent need.
That's a good point.
But, because we're tempted to say, after all I've done for you, you're talking to me like that, which makes it about us. But when we walk in that love, God does never say that. How dare you question me?
Yeah.
That is people attributing that to God. All of that just compounds the fracture.
Yeah. And as you said, God doesn't do that to us, not at all. God's love is rich, lavish, abundant, even when we need it most, especially when we need it most. Yes. We just give, and God gives us space.
Yeah, and we give those children space.
Right,
that's right.
And
you might come back in a minute, and lean in again and help them breathe a little to find out what's wrong. Yeah. But God doesn't lose it. When our oldest was 2, he got so mad and he said, I hate you. I'm telling you, I was not prepared for that.
Yeah.
So I called my older sister who had older kids and I said, my son just said he hates me. And she said, oh, I remember the first time my oldest one said that to me. And I said, the first time? Because I thought that meant something. When our son said that, something about the relationship.
If you think back now, at 2.
At 2, he had no control of his motor skills, and he was grabbing, the biggest punch he had available to him. He had picked out the biggest words he had. All it meant, I thought I was a horrible mother raising a psychopath, but no, I wasn't. He was just angry and didn't know what to do with it, and so he pulled out those words, and and it did pack a punch until I learned that there's nothing wrong here.
Yeah. They're dysregulated at that moment and they need the adults around them to stay regulated so they don't lose it as well, Yeah. And that's the kind of love. That's what we're talking about here. That's the abundance that we are going to do what we do, and sometimes we'll be dysregulated.
Yeah.
And sometimes we will not feel the abundance that we have and all that kind of stuff. We will not feel loved and beloved. And God is always there to bring that truth of abundance and love and acceptance and celebration back to us.
Yeah, just think of a Zen master just sitting there and they don't get dysregulated. Or if they do, God does not get dysregulated. And if you found yourself saying to God, I hate you, or some equivalent, because it's too scary to say I hate you to God because you don't know exactly where that trap door is. But if you've been angry or afraid or dysregulated, it doesn't mean anything. God is not bothered by that because God's big sister said, oh, the first time they said that to me. And God said, the first time. All of this means that, especially if you're afraid of punishment, it just means you don't understand God's rich, abundant love. That's all. Press into that. You don't understand its breadth and its depth. That's all. And that love will always far exceed your imagination. You're safe with God to unfold your true self into God's true, rich, lavish love with no fear of punishment. None. And if you feel safe enough to say, God, show me that love, and then rest in it, you will find it more and more and more.
So think of these trees overflowing with lemons right there for the taking.
Yep.
Those blackberry vines loaded with blackberries, and you can stop and pick as many as you want.
Yes.
That's your place of belonging in the universe.
Yes.
We love you.
Stand there.
You are beloved. You are celebrated. We love you.
All the things.
All the things.
We love you.
We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.
Bye.
Would it be okay if I were to tell you that I am afraid someday? So I call you up and you call me down. Would it be okay?
You've been listening to the FreedHearts podcast. We have extensive resources and vibrant, inclusive community for you at freedhearts.org. Please come say hello. If you have questions, comments, or suggestions for the podcast, just email us at podcast@freedhearts.org. Audio engineering is by Luke Johnson. The music is provided by our child, the Grammy-nominated Saint Sinner. You can find out more about him and his music at saintsinnermusic.com. Please share, subscribe, and follow on your favorite platform and support if you can. And thanks for listening.